Sorry. Sorry. Okay, I think we can start. Can somebody pray for that? Please. Can somebody pray? Somebody should pray for us. So pray for us. Thank you, sir. Amen. Thank you, sir. All right, so welcome all to this seminar. First, let me say that I'm not an immigration lawyer, but it's just to put some information together and to share my experience in terms of my journey in the UK and how I have lived to remain. So I'm recording this. This is recorded. It's going to be on the church our YouTube channel. Please help me confirm that the recording is also fine. That's important. All right. Okay. So routes to settlement in the UK. I know some people say route, but the route is the English, I think US version is route. So part of the settlement in the UK. Right. These are the things we look at. Just a brief introduction. Look at some parties. The student visa, skipper visa, the graduate visa, health and care worker, the global talent, innovator founder visa. There's also what we call scale-up visa, but it's similar to innovator founder visa. Then the high potential individual visa. Then there is Minister of Religion visa. Then okay. So I came to the UK 2010. I came as a student, Tier 4. Yeah, so I came, did masters at Newcastle University, then finished 2011, and got post-study for 2 years. We were the last. I got post-study work visa because of abuse. And that post-study work visa then, there was no, you can't bring in your dependent. So you can't be dependent, it was allowed. So I got post-study work visa for 2 years. Then I secured a scholarship for PhD. That was in 2013. And to Tier 4 PhD now. So 4-year visa. I finished my PhD 3 years, 2 months. And then I switched to work visa. for 1 year, then switched to Minister of Religion for 3 months, then switched back to work visa till I got my 10-year stay. So mine was a very long stay. So I spent so much money on switching here and there, visa fee. But the good news, during our own time, there was no IHS. You to do IHS I think 2017. I remember I paid IHS when I was applying for, in fact, I switched to postdoctoral scheme, those who are PhD, then to Minister of Religion visa. So they started IHS in 2017, I think £100 per year. It's now 1,035. God will help us. So that is my journey. My journey was a 10-year long resident route. That was my own pathway to having a yes. Yeah. So because she is independent, so if you are a dependent, will be 5 years, so to say. So ours was 5 years to have residence, permanent residence in the UK. So the common one I would say is this skilled worker visa, which we'll be looking more in depth. And I would say it's even the in terms of cost, is the least. When in terms of cost, is very in terms of cost, it's quite very good. But good news is that in the last few years, they've introduced some other schemes, some other visa pathways that is even cheaper. And that is where global talent comes in, which is quite so. People are not looking into that area. But that one, 3 years, you can have a higher level. Yeah. So we'll be looking at 10-year, 5-year, and then the 3-year, which is the global talent, the innovation founder visa. So please, if you have any question or any comment, please let me know. The information I'm sharing is actually online. So I'll just summarize, bring out the most important information. So we need to do our own further research in terms of how to get permanent residence in the UK. If we decide, because not everybody decide. My brother and I came together in 2010, but he never liked it. Okay, so he went back. So he never liked it at all. He just had his master and went back to Nigeria. So students, so we'll start with student visa, and we're looking at student visa for PhD. If you're going to master in research or MPhil, because one thing about, because we have a lot of our members that they've gotten their masters, or people are already doing their masters. And I've encouraged people to say, you have what it takes, pursue PhD. But during my time, I was applying for professional job and at the same time PhD. So I put options on the table because I don't like being caught unaware. Policy changes. One thing about United Kingdom, the policy can change easily, particularly immigration laws, guidelines, and policies. They can change it in the middle of the night. Okay, and now July is more likely Labour Party will come into power. So this is about understanding the times now. Labour Party is likely going to come into power, and Labour Party favors European than other international, people from other countries. There's the fact. So there might be less favorable things, but we should trust God. You shouldn't be afraid of that. But where I'm going is that we have to be prepared because policy can change again. Okay, what really made the Conservative government a few years ago to really change the policy was because huge skill shortages in engineering and care and all that, and they opened it up and brought people in. But when people, the indigents find out, they had to make it, toughen the rules and the law. And it was because during Brexit, a lot of Europeans that were here, they went back to, they were not happy that UK exited EU. So some of them, they were the ones working in these care homes and all these jobs. They were the ones doing it. So if the UK exited EU, some of them just went back to their country. So that created that. And if they were, how can we fill in the gap? They had to use this care work visa, what was it called? They brought back post-study work visa and then allow applicants with dependents to apply and all that. It wasn't like that before. It was because there was this serious shortage, so they needed to bring in more people. So, but the way things are, the way the Labour Party is like they are trying to design plans that will favor bringing back the Europeans, and if they are bringing them back into this country, then it might affect nationals from other countries. You can see why we need to really plan and begin to put every steps so that if we want to stay, it will be a smooth one for us. So for PhD, during my time, I knew I was going to apply for PhD. We were many when we came to the UK. Particularly, we had people on TED Fund. For those who, from Nigeria, a lot of people came on TED Fund. They sponsored some lecturers, and then there was another PTDF. There was this scholarship, PTDF, to sponsor some those with engineering qualifications to come and study courses relating to oil and gas. So we're many in 2010. We're many. But one thing, Nigerian government, they don't have plans for people after their masters. They gave them scholarship, but some of them after masters, there was no job in the UK. Many people didn't secure jobs. So most people were working in factories. So for 2 years, they used post-study work visa to work in factory. But a lot of them didn't plan ahead that after post-study, how will I stay in this country? So to be honest, most of them went back after 2 years. Not only few of us remain. Some few people got skilled job in the UK, but very, very few. Only few went for PhD. So I chose the route of PhD. So what did I do? I had a good research proposal. You need personal statement, you need CV, a good CV, your academic transcript, and then, of course, all your certificate. Now, the strategy I deployed was I wanted scholarship. I don't have money for PhD. So I targeted universities that offer scholarship. I look at the potential supervisor, look at scholarship. Once schools, the school that I've looked at, once I noticed that they have scholarship, I apply immediately. So thank God I got 2 scholarships, University of York and Lucas University. Because I finished from Lucas University, it was a lot cheaper for me to go back to Lucas University because funding was to cover the local fee. I was an international student, but it only covered the local fee. But I had for Newcastle. So you will get it done. Let me put it that way. But of course, you still need to put your effort. But the likelihood of getting a job is high because only few people are doing PhD in the UK. And there are scholarship opportunities for PhD as well. So if anyone is thinking of that, going through that pathway, that might be a very good one to embark on. But while I was applying, I applied to universities, both in the UK and outside the UK, Canada, because I just wanted to throw my options open. So Canada, Australia, I tried New Zealand, but my focus was I wanted the UK. I don't want to go far from this country. So, but I got it eventually. So I would advise people if you are thinking of PhD pathway, because once you have your PhD, you will God will provide a job. They are one thing about the UK, they are bringing people from other countries, and I must tell us, a lot of Asians are coming in. They're getting all the way from Bangladesh and Pakistan. They are bringing them in. There are few, I've seen few, Africans coming in, but they give, they tell themselves how to secure a job in the UK right from their country and they bring them in because there is so much skill gap in this country. So if we are here, we take advantage of all these things, easily we will be settled in this country. So this job, the website I used to apply for PhD, jobs.ac.uk, there are a lot of scholarship advertised on that website. Self-funding of PhD, to be honest, anyone that wants to, self-fund is a PhD, I advise such person that try to get scholarship at all costs, because I've seen people who started PhD funding themselves, working to fund their PhD, but they couldn't finish the PhD. Some of them stopped at second year. And the bad news is that the school will not refund your money. It will not refund. At least the worst case scenario, get half funded. And it's better for those who are married. So if one is the one studying at PhD level, the other partner will be working full time and be supporting. But a single person is always very difficult without scholarship. From experience, very difficult. Because PhD itself is very, it's a lot of work. It's demanding, highly demanding. So the minimum fee, 12,500, depending on the school. Some schools are even up to 25, 30,000. But some third level rated universities can get 12,500 PhD in terms of tuition, annual tuition, and the living cost. Visa application is not expensive. It's not expensive based on what I saw on UKBA website, 490. But the challenge is that it's not charge. 1,035 is a lot of money per person. So you can see, it's an option, but it's good to weigh these options and probably go for the best or the least cost option. Now, after PhD, 3 to 4 year program, the good news about PhD is that your dependents can stay on your visa, unlike masters. So you can bring in your dependents, or your dependent, if they're already here, they can also apply to stay in the UK if you're a student doing your PhD. That's more or less the saving grace for PhD. Unlike masters, they've cancelled that 1st of January, so that no longer happens. If you're already in the UK and you are going for PhD, you don't need maintenance fund for again. You have stayed for 12 months. So all you just need to do is to apply. If you are on scholarship, your scholarship, the funder will provide the document you need to submit to Home Office. And then your fee, 490. I don't think it's not that expensive. So and then after PhD, is what we call the post-study work visa. So for masters, it's 2 years, but for PhD, it's 3 years. During our time, we call it a doctoral extension scheme for 3 years. So you can say even without securing job after PhD, once you get that, you can do anything. You can become self-employed, you can go into business, you can, yes, sir. No age limit. That would be discrimination. And in fact, somebody that I read the news, I think the man got his PhD at 75. Yeah. No age limit. No. That would be discrimination in the law. So there's no age limit to the PhD. No, top tier university has ranking. So there is the Rosa group, the top 25, then there is the one in the middle, then there are the and yeah, exactly. So to be honest, it doesn't really matter. We've seen people that went to let's say the low ranking universities and they teach in top ranking universities. We've seen, it depends on the outcome. So if your PhD is outstanding and you have publication, the top tier will be put. You get the person. Yeah, there's a difference. But for international student, an international student cannot apply part-time PhD. You can it has to be full-time. Yeah. So you will have full-time is 3 to 4 years. Part-time will be 7 to 8 years. Yeah, so it's twice because part-time with 20 hours. Full-time is 37 hours per week of study. So yeah, I don't know whether part-time could be an option if, for example, you have a couple and one has secured a job with 5 years and the dependent wants to pursue PhD, can be doing part-time PhD and working at the same time. No, you don't need visa. If you already have a visa, yeah, you can do, the spouse can do, or the dependent can do a part-time PhD. Yeah. Yes, you can do part-time PhD. Absolutely, yeah. But it depends on the visa that the main applicant is on. It has to be 5 years. And if it is 5 years, of course, ILR. Right, that's ILR. So they would know that, okay, this person will get ILR. So you have 8 years at least to do a PhD. So it will be fine. Okay. So that is on those who want to pursue PhD, MRes or MPhil, you'll be entitled to graduate visa for 3 years. So it's not just PhD, there's MPhil, master, lots of your masters in research, but not taught program. Taught program, there's post-study work visa, but your dependent cannot, you can't bring in your dependent, or your dependent cannot stay if you are doing a taught program. So it has to be research-based, masters or PhD. Yes. So master's post-study, PhD, then doctoral extension. Yeah, is the doctorate one. It's called doctorate one, yeah. It's allowed, yes. For 3 years. Yes. No, but I switched within, I switched back to tier 2. Yeah, because I got job. I only had it for 6 months. I shouldn't have. I got another job and I switched back to tier 2. For the graduate, the doctoral, yeah, extension 3 years, yes. Yes. But that's my own part in the UK. But I was only on it for a few months. I switched back to tier 2. Okay, then skilled worker visa. Now, this is I would say though challenging to get a professional job. But if one gets a professional job, 5 years straight away ILR. So it's the least expensive. Of course, there is the global talent. Instead of switching back and forth here, that was my own experience, switching back and forth. It was very expensive for me. But let's assume you finish your master's and you secure a professional job immediately and they sponsor you. You will save a lot of money. You'll be saving so much money. So, skilled worker visa allows you to come to or stay in the UK to an eligible job with an approved employer. My school, I've seen the school recruiting people from Asia and all that, and the school will want to pay for their visa and their IHS and so on. We've seen some companies that do that also. So work for a UK employer that is approved by the Home Office, because they'll give you the COS, and that's what you use to apply for your visa. Jordan is on the list of eligible occupation. I don't know if we've seen this shortage list, the Home Office, the shortage list. You can see they are adding more. They are adding more because there is skill gap. This country, I'm telling you, there is labor shortage. I'm talking about skilled now, not unskilled. Not unskilled, not unskilled. The shortage because people are not really people. The people of this country, I don't know what's happening to them, but they just felt, why would I work? There's benefit. I can free money. There are people around where we live that they don't work. We've never seen them. They've never worked. And they're young people. They get money, they're living fine. So that's the downside. But it should be an advantage for us if we want to stay back in this country. Because one thing about all these skilled jobs is rewarding. The pay is good, the pension is good. And if we decide to go back, you are going back to Nigeria in terms of, if I see that person as an expatriate with so much technical skill that you can start the business. So the minimum pay, they just changed this 38,700. So cut down net migration because the people are crying out that a lot of people are coming in. But I read, was it a few days ago, that they've taken the country, the government to court. Some people, they are saying that this is too much for them. That they reduce it. So there's a case in court on this particular amount. So 30,700 per year, or the going rate for the job, whichever is higher. However, there are some exceptions. You can be paid less if you do not meet the usual salary requirement and you do not work in healthcare or education. So there is an exception to those who are working in healthcare and education. That amount is not binding. So so we need to be mindful of that exception so that we don't get discouraged to say, oh, I can't apply. And this company, will they be able to pay up to that amount? If you're working in healthcare and education, go ahead, apply. So the side threshold of 39 is not really binding. Okay. Then the other exception is, for those of this category, they can be on, different salary rule if you work, that's for healthcare and education. Then there's an exception regarding age. If you're under 26 studying or a recent graduate in professional training, then you can be paid less than 39, the 38,000 pounds if you are under 26, and then you're a recent graduate. So that's an exception as well. Then there is an exception about those who have PhD level qualification. For example, if you done your PhD and you secure a postdoc job, most postdoc is 32,000, 2-year postdoc and all that. So there is an exception. If you have PhD and secure a postdoc job and you pay 32,000, it's fine. You're eligible. Okay. So those are the exceptions. So 38,000 is not cast in stone to say the company must suddenly pay 38,000 for skill work visa. If you work in education, in healthcare, there are exceptions. If you are below 26, there are exceptions. If you have postdoc, there are also exceptions as well. I don't know whether that makes sense. Yeah. So what I would advise, please don't get discouraged with pay. Just apply. Even with all this, you never can tell what God can do. If you see a job and they say it's 32,000, right? And and it's not in education or healthcare, apply. Apply, because if you do well and they want you, they can say we'll pay you 38,000. Do you get? So I don't want us to feel like, oh, I can't apply for that job. I can't apply. Apply for all jobs. Apply for all jobs. Because you don't know which one God will say, okay, this is your job. Don't worry, I will sort out the issue of money. But if we disqualify ourselves because we think, the treasury is 30,000, this job is 32, and then you don't apply. You don't know whether that is the job God, is aiming for you. So let us not get discouraged. So getting a professional job, one thing about this country is that they value skills. Just upskill, reskill, just keep updating your skill, particularly digital skill. Please, if there are trainings on enhancing your digital skills online, just get it, put it on your CV. It will help a lot. It will help a lot. So please, let's bear this in mind. Let your CV be proofread by experts. Have a cover letter, well written. Prepare for interviews because you don't know which job will call you to say, oh, we saw your CV, and you come for an interview. Upload a very good CV on all agencies. That's what I did in 2010. I didn't secure a professional job, but I thank God that God has a different plan. You know what I'm saying? So, but I uploaded my CV on all recruitment agencies. All. Some of them still contact me today. So put your CV there. If you update your CV with new skill, update it on those recruitment agencies because you could be called at any time. So please make searching for job like a job itself. I don't know whether that makes sense. Like you don't have a job, but you need a job. Searching for job, make it a job. If you put your whole heart into it, God will do something miraculous. I've seen people have testified. And even myself, my testimony of securing my first lecturing job was a miracle. I can't even remember when I applied for that job. And they called me, LS London South Bank, and say, we see your CV, come for interview. I went. My wife, I didn't want to go because I don't want to work in London. Your ministry is in Sunderland. I was calculating my wife said, go. And I went. I got the job. I did the interview and they called me back the next day and say, I'm interested in the job and all that. It's okay, I'm interested. And I got the job and I was 3 years, one and a half years, I was commuting every week. I said, I can't, church is number one. I can't leave God's work. So I was commuting. But thank God, it was not easy, I must confess. But out of that 3 years, doing that job, 1.5 years, I worked from home because COVID came. And by the time they were saying, come back, God has already given me another job at T-side. And within 7 months, I got senior lectureship position. So we don't, the way God works, is mysterious. So whatever job you get anywhere in the UK, go for it. I said, God said, don't go. So don't limit your opportunities to North East or Newcastle, anywhere, London. It's not that I never liked London, but I needed a job. I needed my first lecturing job anywhere in the UK. So please let's spread, our CVs to all recruitment agencies and be ready to work anywhere you have that flexibility. Put your profile on LinkedIn, please. I don't know I'm not familiar with these other ones, but these are also professional networking sites. Some recruiters, they go to LinkedIn pages and all that. So if they see a very well-written or a very good LinkedIn page, you call the person. They say, are you looking for work and all that? So update your LinkedIn page if you haven't, because these are the things that all these companies will be looking out for. Those who really want to work in good companies. So please take advantage of the networking site. I know I've mentioned this a bit on post-study work visa. Now, if you are finishing your master's, okay, and you're unable to secure a professional job, then thank God post-study work visa is there. for those who started their masters after January this year, the sad thing is, but it's not, I don't see that as something that very bad. But the current situation is that after 1st of January, if your master commences after 1st of January, you cannot, your dependent cannot be on your visa, I mean post-study work visa, but the person can apply for post-study work. But those, your study was before 1st of January this year, then you can get your post-study work visa and your dependent can apply along with you. So there is still, at least you have 2 years. So that is an option. And to be honest, it's a safe option. Because I advise some people to say, okay, you've not secure work visa, and they say, okay, they want to buy 15,000 COS. I said, COS, buying COS, I don't really understand, but to me, I see that risky. But post-study is safe. At least 2 years, you are guaranteed to be in the UK, and within 2 years, God can do anything. But post-study, buying COS, I am not sure. And UK Home Office now, they are clamping down on some companies now, selling COS, and they will withdraw the license. And all those who are on that sponsor license, they will lose their job. They will lose their COS automatically. And the challenge is, if you have switched from student visa to work visa, okay, and they scrap, you lose your your COS, you cannot then go back to post-study. We can see the danger. The person cannot go back to post-study. So that's the danger, buying COS. So after your studies, masters or BSc, you can get your 2 years visa to post-study work visa to still be in the UK. And with your visa, you can work anywhere. You can start a business, you can be self-employed, anything with your 2 years. You can travel abroad, return, and all that. So I believe we are familiar with post-study work visa. So for PhD, is 3 years. So as I said, if you did your master's, 2 year post-study, then decide to go further for PhD, as the law now, you can get 3 years post-study for PhD. Okay. And then it's more likely that sort of pathway is going to be 10 years to get ILR. It's more likely. Okay. I don't know if we have any question or we can move on. Okay. Now, yes. Yeah. 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 You need if you have been in the UK for 12 years, you don't need maintenance fund, but you need for the tuition, you need to show that you can afford it. But maintenance, you don't need to show proof of fund for maintenance. Okay. Now, health and care worker visa. To be honest, this is very new, 2-3 years ago. When we came, I did not know anything about healthcare or people working in healthcare. And to be honest, the reason being, the healthcare system was very functional. And people were not having that, the health challenges and problems that we are now hearing. Mental, I never had anything about mental problem or mental health issue in our own time. So things just escalated after Brexit. Things just escalated. Where we live, there's a big field. All of a sudden, you just build a care home in there. But this was a big field. Care homes springing up, so they needed people because people are falling ill, people are having more mental issues, and they don't have enough manpower. So they had to introduce this. And then the Europeans left. So we can see, combination of several factors, made them to introduce this health and care worker visa. So with this visa, qualified doctor, nurses, healthcare professionals, or those working social carers and all that, they can get this visa. And I think those who are buying COS is this one they're buying. So is this healthcare? Those are the, you say people buy COS, this is what they are buying. So now why the government is clamping down on those who are selling COS is because some of them, they've registered, but they did not meet the entire requirement. So it's later when they are doing audit, you don't have this, you don't have that, then they cancel their license. And then all those that they are sponsored, sorry, your COS is also canceled. So these are the conditions. Care Quality Commission. Wherever company the person is working for care company, they must be registered with the Care Quality Commission. It's a requirement. Okay. Then some other requirement, proof of fund and all that. Then the good thing about healthcare worker, for those who have been on healthcare worker visa, before they introduce the changes in the 11th of March, we can have the dependent on a visa. But after 11th of March, no longer. We can no longer bring in your dependent. But to be honest, I had a testimony that the person applied for this healthcare worker visa, I think in April, and then they gave him the dependent. So that was a miracle. I had it to buy. Okay. 6131. Right.
That's the new code. So the company is called the new code. But if the company is not in old code,
yeah.
So you have like
but the person is not on healthcare visa before, it's not extending, it's not doing anything.
Just finishes. They applied the new code and was given with the dependents. And someone else applied the old
code.
It wasn't given. So I think that was when the new code. And
so if your dependent is already here, you need the new code.
You get a new code from the company.
We cover dependent.
Most of the companies have got their code. I think the new code needs to go back, start a registration of license, which a lot of them don't do.
Right. So I think that is right.
So I asked him, what code you are concerned? He just finished his licenses now, and that's only about 4 weeks to get the license, we were able to switch to dependent. I said,
with the dependent.
Were they on skilled worker before? No. So what code do you have? Then 1631.
Is it a standard code for every? Is it a standard code?
6131. Yes, that's what he has.
Okay. So, but is that code the new code? Is it a standard code for all employers? Healthcare.
Yes.
Right. So it's a standard for healthcare. They don't call it healthcare, so it's now nursing assistant, right? Your dependent. I think that's a good information then. Very good. So that means people want to still apply for healthcare or nursing assistant, they should go for it, Okay, I think that's a very good information. I think I will put it on the slide so that you can see that.
You think I need to get like
so you need some training, so NVQ. I will write it down. So NVQ and what was how you should be able to get that training as well. Right. Okay. Okay. So that is an option there. For those who want to go into healthcare anyway. So that's an option. And it will give 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. Yeah. And the good thing is that they won't pay the IHS. Honestly, I see that as an extortionate amount. Very, very, very extortionate. So there is green light then. So what I would advise is please throw all these options on the table. Healthcare, skilled work, every option on the table. Don't focus on one option. Please, let us not limit ourselves to one option. Okay. So I think I will have to update this with that new information. It's very useful. Now let me go to Global Talent Visa. We did a session on Global Talent. That should be about 3 months ago. It's still online for those who are interested. The person that did that session actually got Global Talent from Nigeria and he came into the country with this visa. Oh, he got it there. Oh, he's been here. Ah, right. Okay, I thought they got it. But we've seen, yeah. So the Global Talent is like UK is trying to bring in most talented in order of UK. That's what US even, that's what all these countries, that's what they do. Now the focus is that for those who are into research, arts and culture, and then digital technology. Now we have 2 variants of this: leader or potential leader. Okay, so you can apply as a leader in your field or as a potential leader, but it should be in those 3 categories: academia, arts, and digital technology. Now, there are processes for this. The first one is endorsement. And now this is the main hurdle for people to cross. Endorsement, how to get endorsement. Somebody or a company or somebody renowned in that same field needs to endorse you to say, oh, this is a potential leader or this is the leader. Okay. And that is the major hurdle that people face with Global Talent visa. Now, apart from endorsement, the other way, if one doesn't want endorsement, is this what we call eligible award. For example, if you have won a major award in your country, and it's not just an ordinary, it's an award that is globally recognized, then one can also get this Global Talent visa. It might not necessarily be award, winning the Nobel laureate. That is true. But even if somebody has that award, definitely you are a leader automatically. So such a person will be given this Global Talent visa. But the list of eligible award, you can find it on that link. Now with Global Talent visa, if you're applying for a leader in your field, it's 3 years. We'll give you 3 years. After 3 years, you can get your ILR. If you are applying for a potential leader in your field is 5 years. You have to be on 5 years visa before you can get your indefinite leave to remain. Okay, and the good thing about this also is that your dependents can be on a visa, so you can sponsor your dependent. I have a friend that got Global Talent visa. Yeah, he has his PhD, but he's not actually working here. He's working in this country. But he has Global Talent visa. He just comes once in a while. What he wanted to just have the ILR. So and he have a second country. Yes, sir. The potential leader, and we'll see it now. So academic leader, there are requirements. If you're an academic leader or potential leader in your academic field, so the conditions is, do you you have a PhD, do you have publications, that have been peer reviewed, submitted in top journals, peer reviewed and all that? That is an important requirement. Or if you're able to secure research grants, then it places you as a potential leader. If you secure several grants, you're already a leader, because securing grants is highly competitive. Or if you have fellowship, I've seen people having fellowship, 2 years fellowship, 3 years fellowship, postdoc, all this. Yeah, it's another requirement. Okay, so those are the main requirements. You have publication as a researcher, you have fellowship, maybe postdoc fellowship, or you have grants, research grants. So, and this is one, I would say this pathway, people from Africa and all that, they are using this to come into the UK. Okay. So if you have this and you have an endorser, they will, write a comprehensive sort of statement about your profile, your capacity, your competency, and all that. Then submit it to UKBA. Then it will be reviewed, and if they are convinced, they would endorse the person, and then with that letter, you just go and apply for your visa. Yes. Your co-author is fine. We know that Africans, you have 7, 10 people writing your paper. For me, I can't even survive more than 3. 2, 3 people as co-authors. That's the way I work. When we're too many, you can't even identify what is your own contribution. You add my name and all that. But it doesn't matter, as long as you are one of the co-authors and you can prove your own contribution to that paper. Yes. Yes. Contributed to. Yeah. Yeah. No. What in the UK, what they want to look at is what is your contribution. So if you are contributing 70%, you can defend your contribution in a statement, you are fine, you are covered. You are covered. Then this one is like okay, IT expert. Honestly speaking, a lot of people in Africa, they are the little talent that we have, they are bringing them into the UK. If you are working in the technology sector, right, it's no brainer. This one will be straightforward. Right. Data scientists, cybersecurity analysts, you are into fintech, artificial AI, which is the main thing now. Financial fintech, gaming, that one, they need them a lot in this country. Robotic technology and all, nanotechnology, all those things. So for that one, there is a body called TechNation. They are the one that will endorse the applicant. So you just have to, your CV, write a very robust statement about your digital skill, submit it to them, they will proofread, they will review it, and they are convinced that this person is a potential leader or an expert, then they will endorse, and with that letter of endorsement, you can apply for your global talent visa. Now, this one is another one, arts and culture. Yeah, I've seen people are getting this as well. Those fashion designers, from Africa, and all, they are bringing them in. Those into music and dance and architecture and all that, they can also get this global talent visa. Okay, but they also need, endorsement, and it's not expensive. It's not that expensive. 760 based on what I've seen. Endorsement 524. The visa itself is 192. And you can, your dependent can apply as well. This is one option as well, global talent visa. Now, any question on this before we move on to the next? Yes.
For example,
Mm.
but you haven't had enough professional
Experience or yeah.
So I still apply for
Potentially that will fit in. Yeah, still apply potentially. If you have not had enough experience, as long as you have some certification, MSc, you have MSc, you have some certification, apply. I don't know, so the person can still potential leader. Mm. 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 Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So go, yeah, apply. Apply. Yeah. Then this one, innovator founder visa. This is quite new, but this replaced what we call, I think they used to call it entrepreneur. Is it entrepreneurial visa or something? Mine, I have about a few friends that got that visa. The visa, then they replace. I think they replaced this innovation visa. You need £50,000. Prove that you can use £50,000 to set up a business in the UK. And the people mobilized 50,000 and they got that visa. 3 years, then they got extension for another 2 years. But some had challenges during applying for extension because they couldn't show what they've done with 50,000. But type of lawyers, they help them out. So they help them out. So I see these visa replacing that kind of visa. Now, innovator founder visa is, do you have a business idea? Or are you already in business that you can scale up? Not very big, but there is a possibility that this business you can scale it up. You can employ people, something like that. That is what this visa is meant for. Okay. No, they removed that. So there is no 50,000. What you just need is a business plan. You can have a very robust business proposal that shows scalability of the business, that you will employ people, and then you yourself, you will be active in that business.
This business must you have like or you pay a British person to be a partner?
No, you don't need a partner. If you want a partner, but they will still ask you what will be your role. What will be the person must play the leading role. It could be business that is existing, but that business, according to what I've read, is that you must be able to justify that it's not something regular, existing. Yeah, something a bit new. Innovation. What innovation are you bringing in? For example, you want to set up a supermarket. There are a lot of supermarkets. So what will make your supermarket different from the existing one? That, if you can prove that, that is all they want. So that innovativeness in the business is what they want to see, and how you can scale it up and then that you will play the key role. That you will be the manager, perform the day-to-day responsibility required for that business. And the good thing, partner dependent can apply on that visa, and it's a route to settlement as well. Now, this visa require somebody to, a body to endorse. They will look at your business plan and do a thorough review. And the review is based on they are looking for three things: innovation, viability of the business, and the scalability of the business. If you can prove that in your business plan, then they will endorse easily. They will endorse.
Same with self-sponsorship visa.
There is no self-sponsorship visa. No, there's no self-sponsorship visa. So the
the amount on it before it's been taken off.
they've taken that visa away. And you could okay, we could say this is a self-sponsorship visa. Or global talent is like we could also say it's a self-sponsorship visa. Post-study work visa is because you can exactly you can use there's no fixed capital, there is no minimum capital. In fact, they say idea. Look at it, they say idea. So if you have a business idea and you put in the plan, this business idea is gonna, this is the capital I need to raise. This is how I will raise it. You don't have the money, but you already, this is how I'm gonna raise, let's say 5,000. This is what I will use the 5,000 to do. This is how I will grow the business in the next 5 years. That's all they just want to see a business plan that will show a business that can practicable, that can survive and succeed in the next 3-5 years.
Like this. Some businesses don't based on service rendering.
You are very right. For example, I'm an accountant and I prepare account for people. This is my brain, my skill. I know, fine, you might say you need a software stage and all that. But I can use Excel easily to do it. So absolutely, yeah. Great. Yeah. Yeah.
There are organizations that will fund you.
Exactly.
That's what it is all about.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, sir, for that. Because part of the proposal, you could say, if it's going to require him, and it's a business, it's a good business idea, you could bring in venture capitalists that you can raise. Yeah.
Especially people like us from developing countries.
Yeah.
And if you're linked with a woman.
Exactly. Yeah. They want to sponsor. And there are grants up in the UK for small businesses as well. So those will be the pool of funds. Friends, maybe little personal savings, and as long as you can provide that plan, that's what they want to see. So this is another, visa, I would say, is people are not looking at. But if you're a businessman from Nigeria, come on, you can do business here. In fact, if you can import things and say this is the business, and if it is something that you can need, and you are an importer, you are bringing things into this country and they need it, and you can show that this product, this is how you will market it, this is how you scale it up. I'm telling you, they would say yes, we want this. This country, over 80% of things consumed in this country are imported. UK is an importing country now. Okay, food, yeah. So if you have an idea and say you want to bring in fresh honey into this country and you package it in the business plan, they will give it. Because a lot of the honey, they are adulterated ones.
All these people are.
Yeah, this one is IHS. The global talent is IHS. Yes, that's the downside. So these are the endorsing bodies for innovator founder visa. Yes.
And now I apply for songs.
And
if I don't get it,
okay.
they get it. Doesn't affect
Your parents, no, it doesn't affect it. No, it doesn't. You just switch. And you endorsement force. You need to get the same to global talent is the endorsement force. Once you get the endorsement, yeah, they can reject. I doubt they will reject your visa, to be honest. So these are the endorsing bodies. We can check online. There are other companies that provide this endorsement as well. But there are organizations that have been set up for that purpose. You have a business plan, they look at it, they endorse it. And some of these organizations could also provide funding. It is a very novel business. They could become a partner or invest in business as well. So we can look that up. So it costs 1,000 based on what I've seen to apply for endorsement. So global talent is cheaper. That's a challenge. I think that's a good question. No? I don't know. I honestly, it's a good question. I really don't know. I really don't know. But I want to assume they might reform. I want to assume, but we might need to double check. Send an email to confirm. But it's a very good question. Then the other challenge is actually expensive. That's what I've seen. So apply outside the UK is 1,191. To apply in the UK is 1,486. That's visa fee. That's why I don't understand why maybe they're trying to like use it to know who is who. Like, are you really rich that you want to do business in real sense? Do you have the fund? Do you get so? It already shows that whoever is going for this wants to do business. Really, the person wants to do business. Because if you really have a business idea, this money is something you will recover. What the endorsement is the endorsement. That's the main order. So we can look at the link for further information. Okay. Do we have any question? Okay. I'm almost done now. Now, this high potential individual visa, I don't think any of us will be able to apply for this. This is based on those who have attended the top 50 universities in the world. The top 50. Not in the so I don't think this is okay. Those who have gone to Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, and all that. But it has disadvantage that it's not a pathway to settlement. It's not a pathway to you can't use it to like apply for ILR. You cannot extend it. So it's similar to study work visa. You can't extend it. It's just 2 years. But those with PhD is 3 years. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. They don't need this. MIT, I finish from MIT, will I come to UK? No way. When Silicon Valley is there. UK has a Silicon Valley now. So that is HPI. Now, this is another one, Minister of Religion. Maybe God has called you to start a church, start a ministry. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, it doesn't. Now, this Minister of Religion, if it has monetary implication, because you have to be paid. Yeah, and it's minimum wage. You know, that's the minimum. This doesn't fall under the 38,000 as well, so it's okay. But to be honest, if a church is quite big and they have ministers and they don't have visa and they can afford it, fine. But the question is how many can afford this? You know, so it's a challenge because it's defined. The minister of religion is somebody leading the church. That's somebody leading the church, or a senior pastor. You can say so. So is there's religious worker. It's a temporary visa, 2 years. So there's religious worker, but sorry. Yeah, it's renewable. It's renewable. So it's a temporary, quite temporary. There is religious worker. It's part of settlement. Yes. Yeah, if they are transferring people and the church, if the church bringing them can afford to sponsor them, then they can Yeah, this would be an option. We've seen people being on minister of religion that they came into the country with minister of religion. Yeah, from Nigeria. But the purpose is to start a parish and then run it. If God is calling you to start a parish, yeah, it's not expensive. So the people who are paid, these are the ways they bring in their people. But there are monetary implications for the church, for the mission. Yeah. So these are occupations in high demand in the UK. So if your skill falls into this, then push your CV out. We get the place. I can, by God's grace. Nanny, okay?
Yes, like you are, people need nanny. And get a visa for someone that will come in as a nanny to take care of you. And because you will pay that person every month, that's a salary, which is all the new threshold, minimum wage that is.
What is the visa called? It will be new short list. Right, okay. I will look that up. But I know there are temporary work visa. For example, sport men and women, they get temporary work visa to bring them in. Fruit pickers, they get temporary visa, 6 months, 1 year to come in. So maybe I will check that temporary work visa. Okay, so please, what I will encourage is don't give up. Let's push on. For those who are still trusting the Lord for job, miracle job, God will give you miracle job. Thank God there are testimonies that God has given to some of our members, and we also testify. But acquire skill. A lot of these skills, some of them are free online. So acquire skill. Now, if you're married, honestly speaking, I've come to realize that some people are struggling in the UK because they are not agreeing with their spouse. They are not agreeing with their spouse. If they agree, the road will be so smooth for them, sincerely speaking. So please, there is need for agreement to discuss with your spouse, those who are married now, about, your stay. How do you want to go? What do you want to do? How do you want to go about it? If it is care, agree. Pray towards it, walk towards it, and you'll see what God will do. But if there is division, somebody wants to apply for a PhD, another one they know is care, and then they keep having back and forth arguments. They might likely lose a miracle. All right, so please, let's agree with us, with your spouse, agree on the options you have when it comes to settling in the UK permanently. When we say permanent resident, it doesn't mean that you can't go back to Nigeria, but that's what they use. Then study the immigration guidelines. It keeps changing. Please, all the things I'm saying now is online. You can see all the things, the other additions here and there. They've gotten it online as well. Yes, say. Please, let's be mindful of what people are saying. I know that now people do TikTok and Instagram and put video as if they are lawyers and then they said do this, do that. Please still go to Home Office website and check for yourself. Very important. And if you need immigration lawyer for further personally, I've never used immigration lawyer except once. And that was when my wife was applying, and then they, for ILR, and then they sent us an information that we used the wrong link, and I was a bit confused. Which link do we use? So I had to call an immigration lawyer and say, I'm a bit, what? I said, oh, is this, use that link. We use that link and we can find it. So what I'm saying is, yes, it's the help of God. I thank God for that. My visa has never been rejected, never. Since I've been applying for visa, never. And I've never used immigration lawyer apart from that particular episode. But what I'm saying is, if you are not sure, please, you could consult an immigration lawyer, because this is what it will really. You are not really sure, maybe you want to apply, or you don't know, okay, my visa is about to expire, what should I do? Maybe if you need additional guidance, you will consult them. There is an immigration lawyer we brought to church, but the man is a bit expensive. But thank God he has been, doing several webinars and all that, and they are free. No, what I mean is consultation with £100. Yeah. And the reason being that people ask a lot of questions, I just have time. Yeah, to curb the number of people just asking some questions that are not relevant and all that. So, but he's a very, very good man. Very, very. He's on church. If you need, his contact, I can send. His name is Mr. Fashion. I can send him your number. I'll send his number to you. But he's having a webinar again. I think I put it on an ambassador platform. You can attend. You never can tell. It will be one information that you will get from that webinar. So we brought him here. Was it last year? And honestly, only 23 people attended in the church. And the church paid a lot of money to bring him down. So please, let's plan ahead. Don't wait till your visa is about to expire and you need to, I need an immigration lawyer, I need it. So please, let's plan ahead. And ultimately pray for God's guidance and favor to attain settlement status in the UK. Prayer and guidance is very key. It's only God that can do that. So I think that is all from me. We spent. So, any questions? Do you have anything to add?
The second thing I would add is just to advise the students concentrate on there are numerous vacancies in NHS that definitely out here. We think that we have more than 100 NHS posts. You see almost 1,000 vacancies both returned, and the many of them just advance for this sponsorship on no council jobs with this sponsorship. And depending on the case, I know that there are particular about the course and all of that. The one good thing about all this is that even if they are not for the most, so the need to pay is are not good. We get the money back. So I'm just like that.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Excellent point. And please, if we're doing interview, don't ask, do you do something? Don't ask. Oh, you want to say something on that?
So it's actually
okay.
If they would employ you on something, whether you ask or not. So you don't job I had to and so I several ways. When I want to go to them. So I had my that if they say they are not going to sponsor them. So after the whole interview, you have to speak at more you also and the person has a notice also. And then I ask that question. So it's actually different. So when I ask, or not. Not for as far as I'm concerned, it's not a criteria for it to now to qualify. Because again, we won't be it's not one person there seems to be a form. So it's not only one person that is practicing your intervening. So they will come to the side and you ask them the question.
To judge, okay. Because the reason why I said some people have said, that and well, I don't want to say whether that was the criteria why they didn't give them the job, but I just thought it to say that, yeah. Why? Because you ask for it. Is that exactly? So I think it depends really, but I think what you need is to get the job. They know that your visa will run out because it's somehow they will know on your passport. I mean your what's it called? Your BRP. Again, so that's why I'm a bit. But if the Holy Spirit is leading you that way to ask, fine, go ahead and ask. But I just want us to be.
We'll give it to you when it's almost due. Like the one I had, I told them, I said, I can't take it. I can't give it to me now.
No.
Then, well, we need to see how, maybe you really want to know how the people I have. Get the reference of where I work now.
Yeah.
That's
exactly. That'd be good. No, yeah, I agree.
That you're going to wait till it's almost time to decide.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Okay, fine, that's no problem. Can you indicate or just write somewhere in my offer letter?
On your offer letter, should be there.
This will be given to me at social points.
Yeah, that is a bit right. If they can put it on the, if they need you, they should give you immediately. Which it should cost them nothing. Right. Yeah. So please, let's just do the best we can. God will intervene. God will settle us. As many as you desire, you will be settled and settled well with your family in this land. In the name of Jesus Christ. Let us pray. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you. Just